Gabby?
Let me get myself together.
Oh, look at your little setup.
I'm working it out with you, mommy. And I went against your rules because I was really needing a workout, like a hardcore workout. So not hardcore, but I wanted to, and I have every minute counts for me. So whenever I come on these kinds of lives with my fitness friends, I'm like actually using it as my exhaustion workout time. So I brought my weights instead of my cans because
I like it. That sounds good. Well, thank you so much for joining me. This is Simone 7, where I ask 7 questions and then we do a 7-minute circuit workout. And the hope is to inspire, connect, and have a laugh. And joining me today is Gabby Bernstein, #1 New York Times bestselling author and international speaker. So I'm honored to have you join me on Simone 7. So, thank you. We've never officially met, so this is a nice way to connect.
I know, I've been such a fan for so long, and then I was so excited to meet. I keep making friends this way. It's very impersonal, but I'm happy to be doing it.
Isn't it crazy? Like in this time of isolation,
I made a lot of friends on Instagram.
I probably connected with some really, fabulous, cool women along the way. So it's definitely had its benefits.
Right? Totally. Yeah, a lot more connection.
So before I get into the questions, I just think it's a great time for you to tell the viewers about how you got to where you are now. What was your journey? What's your background?
Sure. Well, I've been in this field of, I identify as a spiritual teacher, self-help book author, and motivational speaker. And I've been in this field since 2005. In early 2005, I hit a big bottom in my life with drug addiction and alcoholism. And I was 25 years old, and I made a decision that changed the course of my life, which was the commitment to get sober. And in my sobriety, I started to reclaim my spiritual roots because I was brought up very spiritual. I was brought up visiting ashrams, and my mother was a meditator. So I revisited and reclaimed what that meant to me. Very quickly, I started getting on stages and giving talks about what I was going through. And within a few years, I started writing books. And I've authored 8 books now in the last 9 years. And I am really devoted and committed first and foremost to my own spiritual growth and personal development so that I can be a teacher that teaches with true vulnerability and authenticity. And that's what I believe is probably the most, the greatest gift I can give the world is the truth. So I have been my guinea pig, and everything that I've gone through and experienced shows up in my books and shows up in my teachings. And I'm proud to be able to show up right now, in particular, with everything I've learned and discovered and claimed.
Beautiful. My mum, I always say she's a bit of a hippie as well. She was a yoga teacher. She practiced meditation. She would walk around, with crystals on her head when she had a headache. And I remember this as a young girl. And so I was very much exposed to, all these different kinds of thought, which I think I still am very grateful to her for that. So would you say that's the same with your experience with your mother?
Yep. And I'm very grateful that she was the gateway in, right?
Yeah. All right, let's get started. So how are you practicing self-care, and how are you feeling during this time of isolation?
My self-care practice is at an all-time high, Simone. It is an all-time high. The biggest change for us, my husband and I run our business from home, so we've got a virtual team, and the biggest change is obviously not being able to go on the road and give big talks and things like that. And then the second biggest change is we typically have childcare, and we don't at this time, which has been a tremendous gift because I've been able to really bond with my 16-month-old son, and in a way that I never would have been able to. I really, really believe that. So that's awesome. But with that comes his routine. So I'm very routinized right now, and I have I get up at 5 a.m. and I go to bed at 9 or 10. I have a morning transcendental meditation practice, a evening transcendental meditation practice, and then in between I do a 40-minute practice, typically at this time at noon Eastern, and when we're done, I'll do it, of really releasing rage and anger onto my notebook, and then doing a bilateral meditation. So my meditation is much more committed and devoted than it's ever been in my life. And then in addition to that, I'm cooking a lot and walking and moving a lot. And just really mastering my mind, because I can see I'm a catastrophizer, right? Many of us are, right? So I'm actually a former catastrophizer. I've really worked and developed a lot of beautiful self-care practices to undo that pattern. But it really is creeping in at this time. So there's been a little bit of that. And the best thing I could do right now for self-care is to just keep it in the day, just really one day at a time. Because the moment I start future tripping about what happens next, that's when I'm gone.
Implode, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, I try to include, I say that for me, exercise is meditation, because you can go into a meditative state when you're going through the reps and using your breath. But I have a lot of clients say to me, I'd like to start meditation, but I don't know how to do it. I can only do 2 minutes. Can you break that down for me and just explain to people that it doesn't necessarily mean that you're sitting there for 20 minutes, like just to try and make it, attainable for people so that they don't think that.
My biggest contribution I can give people right now are self-regulating tools, and meditation is at the top of that list. In fact, I'm going to give you something, and everyone can join. I'm going to be doing a 21-day meditation challenge. And it's interesting that you said that movement is your meditation, because there's actually meditations in there that are walking meditations, which is you just press play, listen to my voice, and you get into the present moment just by being really present with each step and with your breath. Now, physical activity can be a form of meditation. Whenever you have a single pointed focus, you can guide yourself to out of that chaotic mindset and into a more centered and regulated state. So the big thing I would say is, if someone's new to meditation or is struggling to meditate right now, then definitely check out on the 17th, join me for that challenge, because every single day there's a new meditation practice. And so if you're a new meditator, it's like, I will guide you. If you're someone who's struggling with your meditation practice, you can just press play. Mm-hmm. What I would say today in particular is just even simply connecting to your breath. One of the practices I turn to a lot is a practice that's just so simple. It's from Thich Nhat Hanh, the Zen master, and you just simply breathing in, you say, I am breathing in. I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I am breathing in. Breathing out, I am breathing out. And as you breathe in and out and you just acknowledge the breath, it gets you out of anything else that you were thinking about. And it's a mantra in effect, and it also lets you bring back the focus onto your breath. Mm-hmm. I have so many meditations that I've worked with in my own practice and life and in my books. And I think that the thing I can say safely is that meditation is what's saving me at this time.
Yeah. So when does the 21-day challenge start?
It starts on the 17th. So a week from this Sunday. I'm going to give it to you and your team. And it's like one of the greatest things I've ever made, because I think when you're in this crisis and you're feeling so much of everybody else's stuff, I just was in such a place of what is the highest good for me right now? What can I do? And the answer was, I can give them community. Mm-hmm. I can give people daily practices where they don't have to figure it out, where they can just press play. Every step of the way is guided. And I think that routine is so crucial right now. And that's where fitness comes in as well. Because when we are in this pre-traumatized state that we're in right now, which is really truly where we're at, we can get into a place of immobilization. And in that immobilized state, we are stagnant, we are stuck, and the events that are occurring around us get stuck in our unconscious. But if we move, if we meditate, if we practice mindful thinking, we breathe, we actually can process the experiences in the moment so that we're much less likely to be experiencing PTSD later. Mm-hmm. So it's really excellent that people are here watching you, anyone that wants to go through the meditation challenge, that you're going to be given tools to not just change you for the rest of your life, but to help regulate you now so you don't come out with post-traumatic stress.
Yeah. So you're obviously very spiritually aware, but is there anything that you found out about yourself during this time of stillness that was new?
It's interesting. It's not that I'm necessarily finding out new things about myself, but I'm clearing things that weren't maybe that are being cleared in a rapid pace right now because maybe that's just what the universe is expecting of me so that I can show up at my highest capacity. But it's also just that the years and years of personal growth and development, I have set myself up in a way where now I'm just like, okay, let's let this out. So, old patterns of just sort of, people pleasing. I think when things get serious, your little old patterns they don't work anymore. And personally, I just had no more tolerance for them. So I was like, trying to save my team and save everybody in the beginning. And then I was like, fuck that. I gotta take care of it. I gotta put the oxygen mask on first. I can't save everybody else, right? So that being very conscious of the energy I'm picking up is big time. Bigger way, and these are just things I knew were coming, but they're things that I never even knew how they would develop, and they're developing now.
Mm-hmm. You kind of briefly touched on it, but what does your health and wellness routine look like right now?
Yeah, so 5 a.m. I wake up, I take a bath, I listen to mantra music, I do my TM. I get my son out of bed at 7:30, so I've had a lot of time for myself. Then I feed my son, which is part of my self-care practice because it's joyful for me. And then I write for 2 hours in the morning, unless I have other things I have to finish up. Like I've been working really hard on this meditation challenge or whatever else is in front of me. But I write. I'm writing a new book. I'm writing the book of my life right now. The biggest book of my life is coming through right now. And I just submitted another book last month. So it's like this rapid
juices are flowing.
So I'm writing for those 2 hours that I have that my husband has my son. And then I feed my son lunch, and then I come back to this hour of 12 to 12:40 where I do my meditation. And that's a very deep meditation of journaling and meditating. And then I finish up any loose ends or do some audio recordings. And then I get my son at 3 until the rest of the night. And so he and I go for a walk up the hill, and I push this stroller, which is probably about 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And I'm like 105 pounds. So like half of my body weight, I'm pushing uphill, like up a mountain. And it's about a 4-mile walk. And I just do that daily. And I got to tell you, it's just my son needs the fresh air. I need the movement. It's just working. So today I'm doing it with a girlfriend who is social distancing with me, my social distancing friend. And we're going to walk across the street from each other and walk, And then I have a really serious downtime routine. I don't want to forget that. A downtime routine. No devices, 2 hours. It was 1 hour before bed. Now I'm doing 2 hours before bed.
Wow.
No devices in the bedroom. Just really taking care of my sleep as much as I can.
My husband and I have been talking about that, but we haven't actually mastered it yet. But I think, so what, 7 p.m. you're just like, no phones, that's it?
In the best of times, that's where I'm at. What I've decided now is that after I put my son to bed, I'm going to, lie down somewhere comfortably, use my Theragun massager, and just listen to like Trevor Noah or whatever. So I can get like that hour of media hit that we all need. Yeah. And then I'm going to cook dinner, and it's off, just off.
One thing I found, so I have a son, he's 13 months, and
you have a 13-month-old?
Yeah.
So we have like little twin babies here. There could be best friends. What's his name?
So cute. His name's Oscar, and
mine's Oliver. We've got our little O.
So his second name's Oliver. We were going to call him Oliver, and we were literally tossing up between Oscar and Oliver. So then we
they're
love
beautiful
both
names.
names. We'll keep them. Yeah. But I don't know about you. My whole life kind of stopped, and all of my energy went into him. And when you said mealtime is your joy, that's my joy as well. Just seeing his little face. Oh my God, it's so cute. So much laughter. But I admire that you're saying that, you've carved out that time in the morning for you before he gets up, because it's so important. I kind of have lost my me time, and I need to get that back. Obviously, because I wanted I'm still working, and I want to be a great wife, and I want to be a great friend and daughter, but I think I need to, maybe that means I have to get up earlier, which I love my sleep, but maybe I got to
do what you can do. You know, if you are like, I'm going to feel better with that extra hour, great. If you can get up earlier, you know, I used to always, before I was a mom, I used to always tell moms, oh, just get up earlier to find your meditation. I was so proud of myself that when I became a mom that I actually did that, because I just didn't want to be like this fraud that like kind of just said like, oh, just get up earlier, you know, and I wasn't even a mom yet. And so now I'm doing it, and I can say that it is really valuable.
Yeah.
But that also requires going to bed earlier. So some people find that me time at night, and that's just not me. I don't do me time at night.
Yeah. No, I'm more of a morning person. I mean, I used to work out with clients at 5 a.m. So if that world ever returns and we get to, you know, interact with people
work out
again,
with me at 5 a.m. We can Zoom. And
work out at 5 a.m. So what motivates you?
What motivates me is to help people. What the biggest motivation in my life is to teach people the methods that I have mastered so that I could be free. Because I just want for everyone to feel a sense of freedom, a sense of safety, a sense of knowing that they can take care of themselves and self-regulate and reparent themselves. And that is my motivation.
You normally do a lot of touring, right? With your books and public speaking. So have you found that it's different now? I mean, obviously you still have the platform of social media, which is great, but you miss that human interaction.
You have no idea. I mean, well, maybe you do. Of course you do. Thankfully, you know, my primary day-to-day life wasn't just on the road. You know, that was just like an additional part of my life. But even though I've, you know, writing and you know, creating digital training and things like this is what I do most of the time, I identify as a motivational speaker. That's my art. So my art in some ways has been taken from me, as it has for you, that one-on-one interaction. And so, and then as in any, you know, musician or anyone who has a live audience of any kind, our art has been taken away. Now, what we have to do is just adjust and find other ways to channel that art. So I've been getting, actually, like a lot of my speaking engagements were postponed to 2021 or even 2022. And some are actually now turning into digital talks. I'm doing a talk with, like I'm doing panels. But what I would like to do is find a way to make it feel like live. So like a girlfriend of mine has a church, and I keep begging her husband, there's a church on her property, to let me shoot in that church.
Oh, wow.
And like have a few people that I've been social distancing with, like in different pews, and like just have some sort of live experience. Yeah. I'm going to have to work that out within the next year. Yeah.
So geeking out, I've always loved Deepak Chopra. The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success was like my little Bible for many, many years. I've given it as gifts to a lot of people. But tell me what your connection is with Deepak and what you're doing with him.
Oh, you know, it's actually funny. So I think that one of the panels I'm doing next week, Deepak will be on it. It'll be nice to see his face in FaceTime, whatever it is. Deepak's a really good friend, and he's been a great mentor to me. I've had the privilege of co-hosting some of his Guinness World Record largest meditations. So that's been a beautiful part of our connection, and speaking at his conferences, and most importantly, just seeing him as someone that I could rely on and someone who is truly walking his talk. Because, you know, a lot of people say that they are, you know, fitness instructors and they don't work out, or they, you know, they preach spiritual principles, but they don't live them. And Deepak really does. And it's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I often had this conversation about, you know, now we're living in the world of social media and everyone's an influencer, you know, and so everybody's a fitness expert or everyone's this, you know, spiritual expert. And it's like, you know, it's trying to go through the noise to, you know, find the truth.
Yeah.
All right. If you could go back to your 20-year-old self and tell her anything, what would you say to her?
I would say to her, you are safe.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
That's what I would say to her.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. What does success look like to you?
Freedom, inner peace, period.
Okay. Inner freedom and inner peace. Okay. You want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, just the you know, I measure my success based on how good I feel, how much fun I'm having. And that aim is to just be regulated, to feel at ease no matter what's happening around me, to intuitively know how to handle situations, to not catastrophize, to, you know, just the freedom from fear, freedom from and genuine peace. And I gotta say, I mean, I've come very far. I'm feeling closer and closer to success daily, and some days are more successful than others.
Yeah. I always say that that's been my one motto in business, is to not make a decision based on fear, you know, and I've been doing this for 10 years now, and some years you're a lot more successful than others, and it's definitely a journey, but I think, yeah, try not base a decision on fear. It's easy to say, but it is hard to practice a little.
Well, it is a practice.
Yeah.
And it gets easier over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you control your thoughts if sometimes you're feeling like a trigger's going off, and how do you, you know, because it as you said before about Deepak actually walking the walk, you know, of course we're human, and we're not every day we're going to be like peace, love and joy and think everything's incredible. So what for you, I guess, is the trigger, or what helps you other than your meditation?
I said I have practices for unwinding the thoughts. And so there's a method that I do that's in my book, Super Attractor, and it's called the Choose Again method. And the first step is to notice the fear-based thought and how it makes you feel. Did I lose you again? Okay, there you are. And then forgive yourself for having the thought. Notice the thought. Forgive yourself for having the thought. So you just really see, okay, there's that negative thought again, but I forgive myself for going there. And then reaching for the next best feeling thought. So the next best feeling thought, you know, I've been having some sleep issues. So it could be like, I'm going to have trouble sleeping. That's the story I can get into. And I forgive myself for the story, forgive myself for seeing that story again. And then I start reaching for the next best feeling thought. Well, I had postpartum insomnia and anxiety and depression. So I would guide myself out of this and say, I'm not in that crisis anymore. My energy is much more regulated. I am at peace now. I have so many tools. I can go to sleep a little bit later. So if I wake up early, it's not so early that it's too early, right? So just little things that you can do to guide yourself out of that negative story.
Because at the end of the day, we have a decision, right? We can choose happiness, or we can choose sadness.
Yeah, and we have to proactively choose.
Yeah.
So it's reaching and reaching and reaching for the better feeling.
Yeah. Constant work in progress. Yeah. All right, last one. It's a silly one. If you could have 5 people at a dinner party, living or dead, who would they be and why?
5 is a lot. Okay, let's see.
I'll forgive you if you just think of 3.
I'll be honest, would be I have dinners whenever I live part-time in the city and part-time in the country. And whenever I go to the city, I would have dinners with my best girlfriends. And there's 4 of them, and we would make it a ritual, and it was becoming a good ritual, and it's taken from me now. So it would be with them.
Yeah. Sex in the City moment with the girls. Hey.
Yeah, I miss it.
Yeah. All right, so now we get to the exercise part of the Simone 7. So I'm going to set the timer. It's going to be 7 minutes. And the idea of this is that you can work out anywhere, anytime. There's no excuses. You can get in a great workout in a short amount of time. It's choosing one muscle group and working it to fatigue. So whatever we do today, people viewing this can actually do it in rounds. So they could do 2, 3, 4, up to 7 rounds if they want to. So we've got some weights today, right? All right, let's get ourselves set up.
Should I use my heavier weights if I really want a big workout?
Go for it. Why not?
I mean, my heavier weights, Simone, are 5 pounds.
Have you got 5 pounds?
I've got 3 and 5. What do you think?
Why don't you get the 5?
I have 5. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Let's do it. Okay, and then I might just have to readjust so you can see me.
Yeah, me too.
Is there any particular muscle group that you want to work today? Because I can combine that into our workout.
Arms, butt, you know, the good stuff.
Everything?
Sure.
Hang on 1 more second. You obviously work out all the time, right? Because your body's insane.
I work out a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Not like you, but I do work out, yes.
All right, so let us start off. We're going to do a lateral lunge. Can you see me?
Yes.
So you're going to do a big step out to the side of lateral lunge, so your knee is going to be over your ankle. You're going to lower your weights in between each side. When we come back together, then you do an overhead press, up and over. Yeah?
Yep.
So we'll do it a minute on each side.
I'm going to move the camera so I can be in
Okay.
the right place. Okay, let's do this. All right, let's go.
That's good, that's good. All right, and so we want beautiful, correct form and technique so that knee's going over that ankle. So we step out and we start the timer and we go 1 and lift overhead press. Good, and again, same leg. 2. Good, big step, keep everything still in parallel. Does that feel okay with your 5 pounds?
Yeah.
Good. So we're working our quad, our hamstring, our glute, and then we're getting in some chest, shoulders, and bicep. 30 more seconds on this side, so get down nice and low. And this is a great multitasking exercise, the lateral lunge, because it works the quad, the hamstring, also the outer thigh and the inner thigh. So busy women, this is a great exercise that will hit all areas of your leg at the same time. Good, we've got 7 more seconds on this side and then we'll swap over. And 1 more rep. Good, and up. Beautiful, good. All right, now we do it on the other leg. And big step out, making sure the knee's going over that ankle. And up. Good, and again. Three. What's the weather like there in New York?
You know, it's like 50 degrees, a little cloudy, but we've had some beautiful days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah. Perfect for your walk this afternoon.
I'm going for my walk this afternoon.
Yeah. Good, you got 13 more seconds on this side. And last rep. And up. Good, beautiful. Okay, this time you're going to stand side on. I'm going to put one leg straight and one leg bend, which is like it's a straight leg deadlift. And you're going to put both of the weights into the same arm that you're standing on. You reach down towards the floor, and then you pop up and squeeze. Yeah, and you keep that arm just long and weighted down there. Down, 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 and up and squeeze. There you go. So you should feel this on your standing leg, hamstring on your posterior chain. Should be warming up and be on fire shortly. And up. Again. Can you feel that?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good. Silence is good, I guess, right?
Yes.
And up. Let's do 2 more reps on this side. Down. And up. And 1 more. Perfect. Good. Let's change over to the other leg. So the standing leg is straight leg deadlift. The other one is bent. Both hands are in, both weights are in the same arm as leg. Reach down, 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 down. And squeeze up. And again. 3. Whew. I'm really interested. I can't wait to do the walking meditation.
Oh, it's perfect for you. Yeah, because you'll, and you know, you can even work out to some of the meditations. Because sometimes just hearing affirmation, there's 1 or 2 affirmation meditations. So just listening to affirmations while you exercise will really benefit you. So there's that option too.
Perfect. Let's do 1 more rep on this side.
And up. Good work. Okay, good. We're going to come to a weighted squat. So you bring them like two heavy shopping bags. You take your booty all the way back so you're seated on a chair. And you come up, and then we do a calf raise at the top. And down. So imagine if you're doing your Sex in the City lunch with your girlfriends, push up onto your 5-inch heels. It's been a long time since I've had high heels on. I don't know about you.
I was going to say, it's going to be a while since I told my limits. I've been putting on these boots when I write to feel like I'm, you know.
Have you been? I think that tonight I might actually get dressed up.
Yep.
It's Friday night after all.
That's right.
Good. So keep those arms heavy, weighted squat, booty all the way back, quad, hamstring, and glute, and squeeze and left. And again, down and up and squeeze. And down and up and squeeze. Excellent. Good. Let's come down. Have you got a mat or anything that you can go on to the floor?
Yeah.
Okay. This is like the last two exercises. So you can place one weight down. The other one you're going to put in the crook of your knee and drive your, I'm not sure if you can see me.
I got you.
Yeah, and you're going to, exactly, and then you're going to lift just up and down here. Using that weight, working once again that hamstring and butt. Hold it there and down. Good. 3, 4. And hold it at the top of the range and squeeze for a moment. Beautiful. 6. Good. Flex that foot. Keep that knee down.
These video workouts actually are very effective if you're with a trainer.
Right?
I've done a few, and when you're close like this, you can really see what someone's doing.
Yeah. I've been training virtually most of my clients, actually.
Yeah, I bet you have.
We haven't missed out, which is nice. And everyone's going to come out with the best bodies ever.
Oh my God, 100, because people are walking and moving.
Out, yeah. Good. And then let's switch to the other side.
Especially those who do like this. You're doing all your other stuff, plus you're working out. You're live all the time.
Okay.
And carrying a 16, my son's like 27 or 28 pounds, you know? Yeah. So,
oh my goodness, I think Oscar's about 23, 24.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and just now, he's starting to run. Not walk,
running.
Run. And so just chasing after him is a cardio workout.
That's right. Yeah, I think that I haven't had to lift that much because I've been lifting my kids so much.
Good, we're nearly there. You just got 30 more seconds on this side and then we're done. Ooh, it's warm in here.
I've got the perfect temperature, Simone. I'm in the right temperature.
Good, let's do 3 more reps. And 3, and 2, and last one, and 1. Good, and rest and relax. So anyone can come back to that workout later on. There was 7 moves, 7 minutes each. Repeat however many rounds that you want. Thank you so much for joining me. It's so lovely to chat with you.
It's so nice to
we get to meet in person when all of this is over.
We definitely will.
Yeah, and I'll see you in a 21-day meditation.
I'll be sending that your way.
All right, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.